They must win on this map. Take it away, Mitch and Notha.
Now we're about to jump on into FNATIC's home ground bind. They've dominated every team in Tier 1 on this map, but you know what, Lothar, as I'm sure you're just about to say, not the Polish teams. That's where they lose. So now they're in trouble because they've got to make a reverse sweep, win this and Icebox if they want to go through to Masters.
I'm not sure if FNATIC is actually so happy to starting on the defensive side right now, because Ballista has such just well planned out executes an attack. I feel like if you want to play against Ballista, you want to start on attack and set up expectations for yourself, you know? So we'll see how it goes, but I have high expectations from the plan that we're gonna see in the round 1. A little bit of defaulting, but shower control is actually giving away, so never mind, it's not a default, it's a split on B. Not a single utility being used yet.
Now this is going to be a real point-and-click, a contact round from the boys of Ballista as they sneak on up towards the B site. You can see FNATIC are holding quite far back there. I presume that's Mo and Doma. He's got the beautiful little fully leveled up Sky Frenzy. Teammates come on, barreling through the teleporter. Mo stuck on his own on site, gets overwhelmed after just one kill. The teleporter player's yet to leave and clear Doma's back. They've got to keep an eye on that periodically. But look at what's happening here. Ballista take the teleporter over towards the A site. They realize, okay, we've seized control of B, but we don't have hookah, and they've got the teleporter. They can split us as soon as we push. Instead, they rotate towards the Viper. That didn't spot him because of the wall. He's actually safe right now and pushes right through Mystic. My God, that was a brave play and not one that pays dividends. With Boaster finding a kill in the back, they probably want to... Whoops, never mind. I was going to say group up around Sky for heals, but that's out the window. Jack's just been taken down straight away, and both players now very, very low. I mean, with a Frenzy on range and 4 HP, that's and 30 respectively, that's probably the worst situation you could wish for. And at this point, Ballista should be just locking this one down. They've got a lot of time left to play with, and Doma is just distracting in heaven, trying to take their crosshairs away from the teammate that was repositioning, but they're staring straight at him. And oh, there's the first kill. At least he could try to buy some time. He knows where that player is now, going for the halfway defuse, but he could be wallbanged, he could be taken down. Oh my God! Doma out on the bold, goes for the defuse, it's easily done, and that is insane!
No way that this just happened. I wanted to say that this round is basically thrown by FNATIC when Chuck died on that Sky, which was crucial to heal up Doma. But Doma just brings it back with 30 HP, which is exactly the amount of HP that a Ghost deals to a body shot in the closest possible, like, you know, encounter, and I'm just speechless. I'm just speechless. The timing from Doma was excellent. He peeked the moment Sky will turn away from her own flash, and he gets the advantage there. Insane!
That has broken me on a deep emotional level. That was absolutely incredible. And you know, one of the things I want to point out before someone else does is, oh, hold on. Well, I'll have to talk about this. These players are vulnerable pushing Mystic. It means they take double damage. Going straight through that snakebite is never a good idea. And Ballista, well, they said they took inspiration, at least some, from FNATIC's comp. They didn't go for the Viper. Maybe they didn't know how that works, because the one thing you do not do when there's a snakebite down and that poison orb is go through it. You will die, and even more so when you're up against these Spectres, because they basically become like phantoms at that point.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really like kind of surprised. What is Ballista doing here? This is textbook mistake against this kind of composition, and you should know that. Maybe a bad call from the IGL, maybe just I don't know what happened here, but this is basically a round destroyed on the decision-making process.
I'll say as well, well, hold on. They're going to push forward. We'll at least take a look at this. I think is there still a snakebite in play as well?
Should be one, right?
Yeah, I only saw him use one, so that's a little bit dangerous as well. Doma on the corner, though, not spotted. Easy for 1, for 2, and almost there for the third frame. Oh, it's not even landed. Usually you have to arm those things, but he's just killed him straight up with it. I wanted to point out, actually, in the pistol, I think the reason that the player used the flash instead of straight taking the fight, because obviously your teammates can communicate, oh, he's 30 HP, but he was alone with Sky for like 20 seconds. So there was probably that thought of, what if he's 100? You know, he could be healed up. So it wasn't as simple as just running him with your gun out. He wanted to try to gain the advantage with the flash, but sadly that's it's backfired because Doma's an absolute animal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Doma was giving away his position and was obviously baiting. So Ballista, I feel like they made a mistake of not taking more map control and just still waiting in labs on that first round. But hey, let's focus on the third round, because right now Ballista's trying to get default control of the map. Tasmanian Tiger is being destroyed immediately. He just wants to avoid Doma getting that orb, but instead he was taking that B orb for free. And now this sets up a good round for FNATIC, but I guess it's a little bit chaotic. No, they don't know what's happening. This is why Mystic is now following the drone on A short. They got a tag on Bull. They know he has a Sheriff. In the meantime, we have seen that before. Ballista doesn't use the raise boombot early in the rounds to announce that they're in front of Hookah. They just wait there and just try to get control with the guns out. We have seen that in the pistol round. Right now, we're not gonna see it because there's just not enough economy to buy that utility. But in general, like, I feel like this approach from Ballista is not exactly the same that they kind of tried to show us on Haven. This is a little bit chaotic.
Going straight into the nades here. They rush the back of the site, trying to overwhelm them, but Doma, he's ready to defend his teammate with the flash out. Taking a third, actually, afterwards, and leaving Morphin all by himself. A nade coming right on top of his head. Literally goes over him a little bit, but those tags, the wall bangs from Spectres, enough to take him down in the end. 3-0 we go, and another expected round to go the way of FNATIC. But they do it flawlessly, which is the important thing. They're likely to play this as a bonus round, and look at the amount of credits they have with very few to be spent right now. I mean, they didn't even lose armor on most players.
Yeah, this is awesome for FNATIC. They also have a great ultimate usage that will be presented most likely in this round, because Doma is gonna go forward with that ultimate, right? This is the moment where it shines, where they are on a bonus round. Getting a kill in a full buy round from their opponents is going to be crucial. We're going to also probably see shower control to get that orb for Mo, since he wants to get that ultimate as well to delay the plant or even get a kill after the attack from the drone. So this is something that you can predict as Ballista and play around, but it seems like they're just giving that away. It's kind of interesting to see. Look at the control from Ballista right now on the minimap. They're very far away from every single one of those choke points. They play slow and take control of Hookah for free. In the meantime, Kareem is being spotted by the Tasmanian Tiger, but not dealt damage, fortunately for him. He's still on that 125, which is the small shields, but he still will die to a one tap from the Phantom unless it's within 15 meters. But they know they play the Spectres.
This is huge now. They're going to spot all three players. Look, those Seekers go different directions. And Doma out with the showstopper. Catches the first kill. That abandons any chance of them going through the teleporter. They've got to commit now. And the blast pack play in the back. Bold peeking with him. The synergy of Ballista was something we commented on the other day. I mean, the balls of Mystic may be our next point to be made. That's the second smoke I've seen him run through to try and take a 1vx fight. And the thing that surprises me so much for Ballista is if you look at the top 20 teams, they don't play like this. Like, when you go to top 10, top 5, it's expected, it's fundamental. But when you go top 20 to 30, kind of where I'd consider Ballista to be at coming into this, you don't see this level of play. Every single fight, there was a trade. Every single one.
That's something that in First Strike I saw on Heretic's VODs, and I was like such a huge fan of, because it's something that you need to do on attack. Like, you cannot go one by one and expect to win the rounds. And on the highest level of play, especially when the utility is such a big impact of how you want to approach sites, it's just crucial for every single team.
Scout destroyed.
Well, their little Tigers being destroyed, confirming this a player aggressively in bathroom, but it doesn't help you much with this kind of Viper wall down. Batty G having to heal, sprays through the smoke. I like Batty G spraying back. This is to try and distract them and get them to pull their crosshair towards him so the spike can still go down. It didn't ultimately serve any purpose, but again, the attempt was there, and I like it. Oh, QXV dodges it nicely, but taken down by Doma. Boaster with another puts the advantage strongly into FNATIC's favor, and at this point, point, you're in a pretty tough situation for Ballista. They've got to try and recover this one. Bold completely locked out by the smoke as his teammate picks up one before falling. A quick flash and a quick kill afterwards, but now spotted by that recon. There was no way he could peek into that smoke and stop the defuse. The round is over, and Bold just wants to carry the weapon forward, but Mo shuts him down through the wall. Heartbreaking, really. A weapon lost that they cannot afford to rebuy in this one, and that puts Ballista onto an eco.
Yeah, and it feels like if Ballista wants to attack A site, the main goal, apart from planting the spike, is killing Mystic. If you're not killing Mystic during that initial push, then you're set up in the entire retake for your opponents for free, right? They still have the wall. They still have the one-way on A shot. You cannot really hold it then from that point. You are set up to fail if you don't kill Mystic. It's such a crucial part. But hey, what is happening here?
And a full crunch.
Dies 1 for 1?
Now they're going through Bath, pushing aggressively, but there was a little bit late coming through the teleporter. FNATIC eventually clean house on that one, only losing the one player. Yeah, Boaster was kind of the sacrificial lamb of that play. Ideally, those guys push through a little bit quicker, you know, they get there.
I agree.
But obviously there's a little bit of a run up to the teleporter. You got to get through. That's where we've seen before the likes of a Jet, a Sova, a recon dart that comes in to distract their crosshair. Lots of different things can happen, but that fast-paced bathroom control, they just weren't ready for.
Yeah, I feel like Boaster definitely could have waited a little bit again, and just to, you know, after Mystic dies, he just waits out a little bit again for the teleport push. But at the same time, what is very crucial in this round, what happened, and probably not many people put a lot of you know, weight to, is that Doma again has his ultimate against a full buy, and this is something that I cannot stress enough. If Ray's player is getting fed during eco rounds, that's what they want to do. Ballista cannot allow just Doma to just run around and feed himself those ultimates, because there are round defining on those full buy, and now they're just grouping up on market. Like, what if the Raze just goes in and pushes that? It's a very risky play that you have to take into consideration.
I've got your trail.
The Trailblazers going out. They're trying to find where these players are, and well, the info are any given on one as they quickly trade out Mystic. Rez comes in, and advantage is now firmly there to play with. Now, at this point, I want to say Ballista shouldn't really be committing much more in the way of ultimates. They've already committed quite a bunch. I love this wall. It goes down, it makes them shoot it, and now they're going to rush forward with the Phoenix ult and take a free kill. Batty G can continue to fight, but he gets destroyed and falls on back. A 5v3. Showstopper available, but not necessary, at least on the attacking side. If you're the defenders, you might want to pop it until all three you get killed by Kareem. Then, well, you can't really do it because you're dead. 5-2.
I have to double guess the decision of FNATIC to use the teleport from long B and just give away that B, right? Would you stand your ground? I would have to rewatch the entire round, but it felt like they just were a little bit intimidated by the push. Maybe they anticipated more people playing on Fountain. This is why they just took the teleporter. But you know how it was planned by Ballista. They actually had only one player not long, so
sorry,
it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, no, I think that the issue is because of the comp you're playing against, especially if it's Raze, Phoenix, or Brimstone, you can be forced into an open 1vx fight. So as soon as you're like trapped on that right side, you just bail, just give it up completely. But obviously in this case, it worked out really well for Ballista. There's the showstopper onto a 1 HP player, but hey, you'll take it. It's a kill from his perspective. Oh, he's evaded it and gotten past the wall. This is massive now for QXV. He's right up in their face, and they have no idea how he got here. One kill, but that's all he's good for. Put back into a 3 versus 2, in fact, as FNATIC take another advantage. Flash pops, but Batty G still good for the kill. Wall now broken. There's a way back in for FNATIC. Viper's only on her way now, taking a little bit of time to get back over towards this B site. It's going to take a pretty heavy toll, really, on the clock remaining, because they've got no info at this point on where these players have gone to. That's where the recon dart comes in, and it's going to spot one at least. The wall bangs put him down very low, but time's still against them as they try to get those crucial shots on. Eventually, Bold is dropped. The information's still a vacuum on the final player, and it's given away with a headshot. Batty G catches Mystic in the open and knows he's not defusing. He doesn't need to rush him down or play the time, as it's already done and dusted. And Batty G will fall to the spike while Mystic makes it away, but your life saved is not great consolation for losing the round.
Yeah, I really like how XQV just did the same twice now. Whenever has the ult available, he just pushes in with double satchels from Hookah, gets the control of side. This time, there was no push from his other teammates, but what happened is he was basically, let's say, allowed to push on side without worrying about CT push because of the Phoenix Molotov hot hands being put onto the entrance of site. This allowed him to not really worry about any people like getting from CT to kill him when he's trying to push with the rocket and just get the control of the site for free, essentially because of that combination of rocket and just killing someone instantly whenever he's backside or in the tube. Now, oh, this might be impactful. That flash gets info, gets that kill. He knows about the second player. Great angle, but Kareem goes on top and he has the ult available. They know what's going to happen.
And the ult is going to go through the heal as well as Kareem goes back up to full HP, but Boaster, he's dealt with them. That ult landing perfectly and eliminating them. Another kill for Boaster as a third in the round pretty much seals the fate of Ballista. QXV went down to deal with Boaster, but had Mystic to contend with as Doma, well, he just bails on out of here. The blast pack does some damage. They know exactly where this final player is, and converting a 1v4 is going to be a pretty tall task. And a big order for this guy to follow through on. He's been spotted again, being peeked out from the side, shots landing. Doma surprisingly still wants to take this fight, even despite being 20 HP. And Batty G might have a 1v1 that can go his way. Mo, well, he was ready for it. I thought after the jump peak, where he didn't get shot at, he might go out on a wide swing, but well disciplined to just tuck in on the angle, at least costing him that extra bit of time, even if he did win the fight.
I love how reactive FNATIC approached in a reactive way they approached this round. Because of the double kill that happened from both sides. I mean, so the equalizer that happened on long B, and FNATIC knew that the rest from Kareem is gonna happen. That's why Boaster pushed so quickly. He wasn't just he didn't really try to get map control. He just tried to push towards that B long to be in range of his ultimate on that res. He gets it. That was the round-defining moment for FNATIC. I really love how reactive they play. But look at that. Ballista doesn't care about the snake bites. They don't really care what's happening. They push it every single round it's happening. While Mystic really reads the intentions well from Ballista. He sets them up for those pushes with the snake bite every single round. But now Mo gets a kill, another snake bite push, and they're just getting punished and punished over and over again.
They just give no respect whatsoever. Okay, Morphin gets one, but committing an ultimate in a 2v5, not exactly ideal. There's a gap in the wall, and they have no idea about that. Molly down as well, and that's literally 4 of those players died. Actually, no, all 5 died because of utility. Between the snakebite, the Molly, and the botched up wall by the attackers. That's about as tragic as it gets.
I was super impressed by Ballista on Haven, but on Bind, it seems like something is just falling apart. It's not as well executed. The pushes seems to be very random and just reckless, I would even say.
Yeah, I think that's something that it's a fine line really when you're playing a Phoenix between having the controlled aggression and being just all out. Avoiding Viper utility like that though is just essential. To just disrespect it like that, I've never seen before, and I've certainly never seen it work. It's a tough start as well as they lose another player. The flash conveys the information, that there are players outside of B. They grab themselves the first kill, the trade kill, and everything's going their way. FNATIC again in a 4v2 as Ballista just fall apart at the seams, and I can't help but feel like what I was saying in the previous map, that, you know, FNATIC looked a little bit lost. We know their map pool is weak, and Haven certainly wasn't somewhere that they had the upper hand. But right here, when they're on their comfort zone, they're just a different level than Ballista. Although, as I say that, Kareem picks up the B site, causing massive rotations as Boaster walks backwards into Morphin. The only problem for them now is, even though they've got control, they have no spike. It's all the way in spawn, and Kareem is taking one after another, heads for the trophy case. Doma blast packs out, there's a nice kill, and spots that the other player, he ain't here. He's still in spawn, as just now Morphin picks up the spike. That's another thing that's really going to cost them, is the amount of time they've had to delay now, forced into a 1v1 on what could have been a nice 2v2 post plant.
Yeah, I really liked how Ballista approached this round, and they basically double faked like the opponents for the rotations. Kareem was the crucial point of this round to set up even that plant on A, because he was basically faking an entire rotation to B while the spike was still sitting comfortably on market. Now Doma will have a hard task. I'm not sure if it was actually heard that he took the teleport. Probably now that he opened and now he's running full time and just gets into Morpheus Crosser. So quite a hard task for Doma to get that retake 1v1, especially in a situation like this. I think he just gambled that his opponent will not be standing close enough to the teleporter to know that he's coming from here. And I guess that was a high risk, high reward play from Doma here.
Ballista, I mean, it worked, I guess.
But it was sloppy. It was really sloppy.
Did
you see XQV on long with that duel when he just brought up his paint shells in the hand while being in a long range fight? And even if he throws that, his opponent just stands his ground and after the initial explosion just goes into the teleport. So it was really sloppy.
Yeah, I think overall, like, it was a bunch of individual fights that, in the end, Kareem's able to pull back so much value from, and that's the benefit of having such a strong individual. I like this ult through. Batty G just rushing hard, even though he's spotted, he'll get some information to play with, and Bold was running with him to try and trade. They get up close, but no spike. It's over towards the B site, as Bold is just trying to sneak up the backlines. Gets one! Really nicely done around that smoke, but nothing else to be converted, as they now look to push the B side. The trouble is afoot, because those Seekers have already spotted at least 3 players B, and so you already have FNATIC, majority of the force, actually all of them now on their way towards the B site. They're going to delay as long as they can. That flash was so good by Batty G. QXV in with the trade, and a man advantage now to play with for Ballista. It doesn't last too long. The final 2 players take the teleporter, and they look to plant on A.
Yeah, and they have a res available. Look at that, Kareem. If he gets the plant, he has one body on site that he can res. But the thing is, they know both players were on B. They know the rotation will be coming in. Will they split? Will they come from the same side? If I would have been in their shoes, I would say, yes, they're going to come from the same side to go for the trades. But one of the players has an op, so he's most likely not going to push unless he exchanged the weapon. Mo, taking control of A short, has the recon bolt available now. Will probably use it for for lamps to get that info, unless he will use it on site. We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to get back into. Ballista tucked inside of Lamps, looking to take this fight on Mo, as he's just got too many angles to clear on his way out. Boaster with an operator. Not ideal for the 1v2 fight that's in front of him, especially as they're moving together, especially as they pop that ultimate, and Morphin just cleans house. That is 7-5, and a sloppy start by Ballista, but they recovered it nicely at the end of the half, now putting themselves just 2 away, and if they win the pistol, they could equalize this.
Yeah, I really loved how Bold pushed the smokes from Morphin. I feel like this is something that they practiced for sure, because the smokes were set up basically the way that he had like a small corridor that he could push through without showing his position. So he gets access to the backside of B and gets a free push on Lamps. Quite unfortunate for him that was Doma just using his utility, and because of that, he didn't have the free time to just get into Lamps and get that control. But in general, it was the crucial moment for Ballista to set up that round. Now, I really liked how Kareem also played. He didn't go mindlessly for that res, because he knows that there might be already a player waiting for C from CT and just waiting for that res, right? Because then they get a free push on a guy that is just waiting to pull out his weapon for 1 second. But in the meantime, FNATIC just goes through the 3rd time, I feel like.
Now this is tough. You know, Ballista, they just crunched them completely. A play that we literally saw from FNATIC twice in the previous half.
Yeah, right?
And then it comes through on the other hand, but Ballista, I think they've made it work much cleaner than what we saw from FNATIC, albeit in the pistol round.
It's like carbon copy of what we've seen from FNATIC, but this time the outcome's a little bit different.
One enemy remaining.
It works at least. So they grab themselves the round, the 6 on the board, and as we said, you win that pistol, you're almost equalized straight away. That is pretty good. You know, considering where they were at, they had not got a lot of faith in my book when they were 7-3 down. FNATIC just looked way too clean, but now they're starting to really pull themselves back together. Oh, hold on. Over on long, they're pushing down. The recon dart doesn't actually spot them. I thought Mo might have like a huge play there if he spots both, but doesn't catch the info. And now the shots, oh, they're landing some damage, but he's down to 40 HP, spamming a classic. That's not going to be the best situation for him as the smoke eventually fades.
He did some pedicure there, shooting at the toes though.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want that kind of pedicure.
Depends on what kind of toenails you have. Oh, look at that!
Through.
Doma with the...
dead though.
Yeah, well, he still got a kill. The economy got a little bit, punished for that. Bolt picks up that weapon though, right on A side, if I'm not mistaken. So he has now that Spectre instead of the Ghost that he had in before, so they don't really lose much. And it's still a very hard task from FNATIC to just get even a spike plan. That's the goal, right? That's the goal. Oh, they saw him? Did they see him? I think so.
One dead.
It looks like either way, Jack is getting away with murder on this one.
No way!
A third kill. 30 seconds. Plenty of
30
time to play
seconds
with. Now, he thinks that player's already rotated, and because there's no movement in spawn, maybe he's coming behind. No. He's cleared that out now as well, and I think the teleport is probably looking pretty tempting at this point, because he knows that likely it's either going to be a bath push or coming in through spawn. He's going to risk it and plant it open, and this works out well for him. No utility left, 78 HP, while his opponent is still sitting on full, I'm fairly certain, and has already cleared the default plant site. Sage making it around, as we now see Chak has swapped positions, moving into labs. This is an expected position, and Chak, he's not worried about his flank, and he should be. Down goes Chak, and down goes the hopes of this round for FNATIC, but a damn good attempt.
Clutch.
Yeah.
What was? I didn't even hear what you said. that was
I just
scary.
said clutch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it just sounded like the
honestly-
start of like a ransom note.
Might be as well, but I feel like Ballista just kinda played overconfidently, right? And that's a slow and insidious killer, because Morphin should have not pushed
One dead.
a one player like in this situation. He knows that their opponent has a Spectre.
remaining.
Why don't you want to play for your teammate? Just play together, get even that heal, because it was coming online. So I have to double guess right now. Ballista feels a little bit uncertain on the fundamental side of the knowledge of how to play the game. So this is a little bit awkward. They brought up the equalizer 7-7, but that round was very, very costly. And because of that, we see now XQV playing with a Spectre instead of a full buy maybe. Oh, he's getting sold out by the utility. He still gets one kill.
Oh, the molly here as they cross. Batty's just out of the round, pretty much out of the push, at least. Whoops, and into the fire. All right, cool. That was a great wall. So, I don't know what's just happened there, but it's a 3v4. Bit of misplay on the mechanics there. Batty G wants to come on through, hasn't got his ultimate, and hasn't got his hot hands anymore as he's out of this one. Doma deleting him around the edge of that molly. With that Ballista, I mean, it looks like they're considering the save, and really, there is no other choice. They've been pummeled out of this round by a quick play from FNATIC, and an attempt at map control from them outside of Hookah, leaving them with two weapons that is probably not worth risking for a 2v4.
Yeah, and what's even funnier is that this mechanical mistake by Buddy G in the teleporter actually did cost him the push. He went to 80 HP, exactly 80, after he got damaged by the Brimstone's Molotov. The DPS is just so high, right? It's just, you can't even react to it before getting damaged heavily. And 80 HP is exactly 2 bullets to the body from the Vandal, which happened. He wasn't killed by a headshot by Doma. He got just double tapped in his chest, and he lost the duel because of that. So that small mechanical mistake probably cost him that duel, because otherwise he would have had time to repay the shots on his opponent and maybe get a headshot.
Yeah, it's a shame, losing the HP, losing the wall as he did, not having the cover to cross over. These things happen, and hopefully that'll be the last of it. Ballista, one round behind, and you can see they go for mid-aggression down through A, don't spot anybody, and those Seekers confirming, only 2 players on B. With the smokes down, they know they're behind them in elbow. I'm surprised Doma's even clearing long now. Or is he? No, they're going. They're running because they heard the teleport behind them. They know these players have come through Hookah, and so out they go. This is where I'd love like a snake bite down on the teleporter or something like that. They don't go for it, but they do run away as quick as can be. Mystic staying behind to watch their back. That's going to be a free kill for him, almost certainly off screen. He's picking up 2. Mystic absolutely clutching out this one. Jack comes from spawn and leaves this round pretty much out of the hands of Ballista until Kareem. Morphin, they're picking up every single kill. Mystic's only got the classic and 34 health. Gotta rely on the right click and it lands, but not for the full 150. Doma, with it all to do, still has both of his blast packs, but it's unlikely to come into play. Knows where both of these players were, but the information slowly slipping away. Steps down, drop. He knows exactly where this Brimstone is. 1 kill, and he knows Brim is there as well. Getting up close, blast pack up on top, and around we go. Doma takes the kill in the end. 9-7. A sloppy finish, but a good start. Mystic with that double was beautiful.
I really have to question the decision making from the players. They seem to die a lot with the utility in hand, something that we are not really used to seeing on this level of play. And by the way, the decision from Doma to use the blast pack to get on top of the site is fantastic, because he knows Morphin is playing an operator right now, so he is on a disadvantage. Whenever you can be just like, you know, popping your head, seeing the positioning, your opponent just shoots once and he's dead. He cannot do anything. He has to switch to his weapon. 750 milliseconds to equip that classic. It's pretty tough. It's really pretty tough to do that. So sloppy round, sloppy finish by Ballista. It could have been just their round. It was thrown by FNATIC in the beginning, and it was thrown by Ballista. There's no other way of saying that.
It's like we're playing a game of baseball or something. People throwing left, right, and center. I don't know, I couldn't think of a game. You know what would have been good? Disc golf. Dust loves that. I'm tweeting about it all the time. No idea how that game works, but it seems fun. Low effort golf, that's what I call it. 9-7 anyways, 2 between them, and FNATIC have got a whole bunch of ultimates, but so do Ballista, and very similar ultis, really. It's only the Viper that kind of changes it up on one side versus Sky on the other. Nice deep molly. Here comes the showstopper, looking for players. There's none on the site, though. This was full retake, and Doma's now spotted that out. Goes into elbow, not a bad idea to throw one in there. That was weird. I couldn't actually see the full radius of that ulti on the map, but maybe that's just a spectator thing. Oh yeah, we could see it when it activated, but QXV in with the one from the back. They're going to take over control of Hookah, but the rotates are underway, and look who they've left behind. Lurking here, Doma easily catches off Kareem as the A side is overrun. The plant will come through. I don't think there's any utility to deny that at this point. And now man advantage plus Viper ultimate. This is going to be tough to take control of as Ballista. Oh.
And I was certain
the drop
an ultimate for Sky, but it was already used before, and now just FNATIC just runs away with it. Wait a moment.
Oh, there's a chance, especially inside this Viper ultimate. He's decaying all the way down in his HP, but he's sticking it, and that might not have been expected, but eventually they get around there. They were being cautious in case he fakes it and knew they had time. I like the jump out of heaven into the Viper ultimate as well. It's honestly one of my favorite things to do. If you have height over Viper ult, you can jump in blind, and it's almost a 50-50. They won't hear you coming, and maybe you get behind them and find that kill.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that we have seen Build with his ultimate straight away on the round when there was an execute on B and not even a bomb plant, right? It's a little bit awkward because you know that the opponents will use that Viper ultimate post plant, and this is where the Sky ultimate shines. You get exactly the information where are your opponents hiding in the ultimate, so you can just get free kills for that. So I don't know, it's a little bit weird, but Buddy just goes. What is happening?
Blinded.
A bit of a wild start to this, and even taking that fight afterwards versus the weaker weapons. I mean, overcommitment is the word that rings through in my head. We end up now in a 2v5 in a tough spot again. Ballista, they're pulling this back slowly. They have to convert this one. They should. They've got Res, they've got Phoenix ult, and Showstopper. Everything really going their way. I'd be surprised if they let this one go. Mystic up close is the first one to take contact and successfully finds lamp control. Now a little bit more to get as a flash comes out, but it hasn't spotted exactly where Boaster is. It doesn't matter. They know where Mystic is. They know his last known location, and they've spotted him yet again. A quick fight goes his way. The defuse is only being tapped. It hasn't been stuck just yet, but eventually they're going to go for it. Mystic couldn't quite manage the ace, but I think that's fairly reasonable.
It was a little bit awkward again because, not sure if you realized, but when Kareem used the Sage Wall, he actually interrupted the defuse by Buddy G and brought him up in level, you know? He was just...
Oh, no.
That was a little bit awkward. He could have died because of that. Because then Mystic had actually a possibility of shooting him over the truck. So I was a little bit, you know, sweating that this might be actually still around for FNATIC, because it seems like Ballista tries to get into those 1v1 fights when it's not necessary, and it was visible in this round as well and during the retake. But I really like the way that they played from the showers when they swung with Buddy G like very wide. There's no way that they give FNATIC a double kill there. In the meantime, this attack, this round, is something different that we didn't see before from FNATIC. 3 people pushing long B, while in the meantime we have a default control of A, which sets up a nice push and probably gets them a kill when someone pushes showers, but instead it's XQV getting that kill on the sack, and the entire plan falls through because I'm sure they pushed 3 long on B to just teleport to A. Now they have to go into B when they lost that A default.
There is a player just behind this smoke, and I think he spotted Doma out at this point as well. It's a bit awkward if he gets taken down by that. You can see Sage just waiting for this fight to come through as Doma doesn't overstep his mark. Kareem, not dealt with. Batty G there to save the day. And Ballista just keep on giving in this one. Down goes Mo as Mystic is again in a 1v5. Hey, he gets 2. He's already in for 3 with the snake bite. Old Pop, there's a player behind him, but it might buy him a little bit of time. He's actually spotted him out because of it. And another kill from snake bites. This is insane, but unfortunately, the ace doesn't come through from Mystic. That was
so
unbelievably well attempted.
Oh my god, so close. Look at not only having really crisp aim, getting those headshots, but getting those snakebite kills. Look when does use the second snakebite. Oh, actually, that was the same snakebite. Never mind. He didn't use the second one.
That's a bit of a disaster running right into it. You know, you overestimate what the snakebite can do, but because it double damages, causes you to take double damage rather, or we call it being vulnerable, then obviously the poison orb ticking down your health is going to just completely wreck you. It's it was so nicely played, man. You know, Mystic's kicking himself for not getting that last one, but it was so damn close. 1 bullet and he wins the 1v5. But in the end, Ballista pull it back and look for double digits now at this point. If you're FNATIC, you're in a little bit of trouble. Clearing out corners. There's the guy on the right, actually tagged up as well. Already spotted. Molly in play. He can blast back out of there, though. It's exactly what he's going to do, but loses a lot of his health for his trouble.
Yeah, but he gets healed to 100 HP by his Sky teammate, which is crucial because I felt like he can still be in that corner if the molly fails to land on him, which there's always a chance, you know, like it can bounce weirdly or leave a small room in the edge of the room. But oh, he goes back to showers, get that control. Nice, he gets a lot of information from Ballista. That means that they're pushing B. Now let's see how Ballista will take that retake. They have to make a decision, right? They just give it away for free. They just play for that fully retake because they know they have a lot of ultimates. They have the showstopper. They have the run it back. And we're gonna see that being used in tandem. Oh, never mind. Buddy is pushing elbow, gets a double kill while in the ultimate. That's nuts.
Really good stuff by Batty. They pick up the flanker at least, allowing the setup of the post-plant utility that we saw be so pivotal in just the previous round, combined with the Hunter's Fury. That's huge.
But they have the health.
Yeah, they got it halfway. It didn't land quite in time because of the delay of taking the fight behind. This is going to cause a bit of an issue now. Ballista can just stick it inside that and get it all the way. But no! A second away! Kareem gets dealt with now. Down to the even clutch. Mystic with a 3rd kill. Shock dart through. Damage done. And they've won the round at this point. Mystic, all 4 kills under his belt. An absolutely huge round from the Viper. And FNATIC, they won't be equalized on. They hit 11.
So you can ask yourself, like, how do you play around that? And I feel like Ballista is currently not playing around how FNATIC is approaching post-plant situations. Like, you know how they're gonna play. They're just gonna use lineups from long B or from the fountain. So the crucial part is your lurker has to wait for that moment to happen when he can get the kill on the Viper before, you know, she dies, basically, right? That's the crucial part. The lurker has to kill the Viper. If he doesn't kill the Viper, the entire plan on just defusing that bomb fails. Although I have to say, Kareem was actually, I think, like 10 milliseconds away from defusing that spike. The entire loading line was yellow.
But I think, again, that comes down to, and I thought he'd read into something I didn't know about, because if you have the Poison Orb and the Snakebite, you cannot defuse. You can't do it.
I agree.
But he went for it, and I guess he thought he could get there, defying the laws of Viper, and I think we've seen that a few times. While we're chatting, though, we've got a double kill coming in from a showstopper. QXV with 3. Already recovering this round for Ballista on what looked like it was going to be lost. They got pressured, they got split, Bathroom was under heavy pressure, and out he comes with a showstopper and completely changes the tide of the round. Abilities getting kills, but now they need to do it with weapons, because they're all out of big impact ultimates. They've got a res, but need to get into position to revive one of those players. And this is where FNATIC would be wise to stick towards an A hit. I mean, if they had the spike, maybe they teleport, but especially when they don't. QXV in with a 4th from behind, and although Mo has got 1, he has no info on the second player. Believes him to be Heaven, but he's already wrapped all the way around, and just an inch away from getting that kill. There we go. Morphin cleans house, and 11-10 we go. Great round by QXV.
Just shows how impactful this showstopper is, right? Press X, get a double kill, turn around the round. That's insane from XQV here, and they have to be happy about that, right? It would have been match point for FNATIC otherwise, and FNATIC was on a roll. Winning rounds like this puts you up in a great mental spot, and I feel like because of that, FNATIC might have been pushing a little bit too early, as they prepared us for a little bit slower executes on the attack rounds from them, which were very successful. But whenever they attack fast, they fail to just kind of answer the aggression from Ballista on those attacks as well.
Look at that commitment there. Oh, okay. The flash through actually completely caught Batty G. They've dealt with him now. Another peek, another kill. Jack in for huge damage in this round. But now he's gone, and so too is the Vandal, leaving just a Classic to take this fight. At least the spike is recoverable, as Morphin goes out to clear his backside, but he comes back all too quickly. Catches Mo and puts it 11-11. The important part about the previous round as well, though, Thar, is that I think if FNATIC win that, 12-10, yeah, they've wrecked them. So you probably, like, that was genuinely probably the game in the balance, and QXV brought them back into it.
Yep, I agree. 100%. I mean, okay, maybe not 100% because we don't see the actual stats on the economy, but it felt like from the flow of the game, it felt like that round could have break Ballista economically. And now, because of that, we're going to see a full buy round from both teams on 11-11. And because of the mounting bonus, I feel like we're still going to have a full buy round. Let's take a look. Oh, actually, 2 FNATIC players will have a full buy round. The other ones, actually 3. Mystic is on the Viper, which has a very low utility cost, only 400. So basically, he's allowed to play a full buy even when he has like 900. So this is not going to look terribly in case FNATIC is going to lose, and it's going to look good for Ballista even if they're going to lose. So we're going to see 2 full buy runs. Oh, wait a second. Someone was playing with a Spectre right now on FNATIC.
Yeah, a little bit of a downside to go for utility instead. That's a tough loss to take. Mystic being so pivotal in so many rounds. Doma, he's got to go huge, and he grabs 1, but 2 more to go. Knows where the players are out on long, and 8 in the air catches the kill just as he lands. But now knows both players are on long because a res has come through yet again. Phoenix has popped his ultimate, and this is so clever. It's so smart. He's caused a teleport from one player, and that's with the ultimate. He now comes back. Ballista playing mind games with Doma, who now may believe that there's only one player on long. This is potentially massive. With 4 bullets remaining, Doma could be in a bit of trouble. Had the opportunity to reload as he went towards the spawn, but he'll plant here eventually. Now the question is he ready for both players to be long? As he goes out with the Vandal now fully reloaded, wants to take a peek to the right. There's a 1v1 on offer, but Phoenix is quickly approaching his left-hand side, and he gets side-swiped out of that round. The timing working out perfectly for Batty G. Ballista picking up 12 rounds, now just 1 away from eliminating FNATIC from the running for Masters. It's not something that many people would have expected, and I would say not something anyone would have expected, but I know you'd pick me up on that one, Lothar.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'm a big fan of both of those teams, you know? They won me over by their playstyle, and I have to say Haven was heaven to watch. But this bind is very messy, but still very cool to watch. I was worried a little bit for Ballista here in this retake because they split. I'm not sure if this is a correct decision when they know that someone has to be backside? Is it better to maybe approach this, you know,
I've got your trail.
very close to each other for just a trade setup? Because right now they isolated themselves and to maybe even give it 2 1v1s, but hey, they won the round, and now this is a very quick approach from FNATIC. What's happened?
Oh, they're rushing in. They're feeling full confident. I love the setup of the snake bite and the nade. So if somebody is playing up on top in a position that is fairly common, they get double damaged and put vulnerable, as we say, and then they get wrecked by the nade on double damage. With this, though, we're in a 5 versus 3 after those opening duels. Viper ultimate pop, Mystica behind, and catching everything, closing that out 12-12. Regulation is over, but the game continues as FNATIC are going to desperately try to bring this to a map 3 and claim their spot in Masters on that map. For now, it's overtime.
One enemy remaining.
Whew. What a round. Super blazing fast from FNATIC.
I really enjoyed Mystic's play, actually. Like, the fact that, first of all, he does the snake bite, and then the nade goes on top of it. But then he goes to backside through his ult. And when you've got that 5v3 Lothar, the last thing I'll expect is your Viper to just run. Yeah. Like, just go straight through it and take those fights. It's sometimes that confidence, although on paper, technically, you know, it's factually the wrong decision when you have the advantage, but it catches your opponents off guard, and it almost makes it the right play because of it.
QXV taking his entry. I wanted to say entry, but it's the Phoenix that's gonna run the edge of this, the tip of the spear here on that A short push. And they get everything for free. They got lamp control. They get the spike plant unless it's gonna be delayed by the shock darts. No, that's not gonna happen. The spike goes down. Ballista with the plant. 5v5 retake from FNATIC.
Well, if he hadn't healed up there, he'd be dead. Got shot through the smoke down to 39 HP when he was already about that. Another nade coming through. A little bit of damage behind QXV, but he stays alive. There's the blast pack, but not in time. Doma picks up the kill and keeps on going. Kareem, the next line of defense, but down he goes as well. Batty G, he's been the big boy for this team in the past. I don't know how that didn't blind him. He's gonna go out wide, drop a molly on the spike, and Morphin picks up one from behind. They're trying their best to pull this back, and Batty G does it. A 4K from this guy. 13-12. Ballista recover a round that looks nigh on impossible and put themselves on a second map point.
What an insane round. It was just eye for an eye for almost the entirety of that retake. But then we have seen both raises just duel inside of lamps, and because of that, Ballista actually just lost the entire map control, right? The entire side control. And Batty had to play with the one way in front of him. He had to use the hot hands. Without the hot hands, I think he is losing 100% of the time. But because of the hot hands, he pushed out his opponents. He could have played time a little bit, and then he gets the double kills after the field rounds out. Insane. And he gets the first blood on defense.
Opened it up completely again. That that bath push that's worked so many times in the previous round. His hot hands further extended the Molotov that Brimstone had put down, and Brimstone about to further extend the advantage with perfect timing on the push through. He catches Mystic in the back, and Mo has to ace this round. It's not gonna happen. Batty 3Ks it up, and 14-12. Ballista have knocked FNATIC out. They have claimed their spot in